Hi guys, welcome to Monday. Hope you had a good recovery after Saturday's workout. Today what we're going to do is get warmed up, 45 seconds on, 15-second transition. I want you to start with jump rope. If you don't have access to a jump rope, you're going to do penguin claps. After that, we're going to go into a front plank. So for the front plank, I just want you to have the hands underneath the shoulders and then squeeze the butt, squeeze the core, and hold in that nice front plank position. After that, we're going to go plate goblet squat to an overhead raise. So you're going to grab your plate, set your feet in your squat stance. We're going to go butt back, knees out, and then I like to have the elbows between the knees just to kind of push those knees open. You can kind of move side to side, warm up the ankles. You'll stand and then press out overhead. Make sure that when you go down into that squat that the chest stays nice and upright, and then stand and repeat. If you're at home, you can use a kettlebell or dumbbell instead. Next we're going to do is an extension plank, and this is to really warm up the wrists for our ring dips. So I'm going to have feet together, toes pointed. My hands are going to be slightly behind my hips, and also my fingers are going to be pointed out to the sides. And then from here, I'm just going to pull my shoulder blades down and back, squeeze my butt, look up at the ceiling, and hold that position for 45 seconds. Next, we're going to go into some box crawling. So this is where I'm just going to get set up and crawl just a few steps forward, across, reverse, and back. So ideally, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. If you need to modify, you can go down to knees to the ground, and then just kind of go in that same pattern for the 45 seconds. Next, we're going to get into our PVC work. So first, I'm going to have you start with power cleans. At the halfway point, I'll have you switch to a squat clean. So for these guys, hands should be just outside the hips, and we want to hook grip. So fingers are going to go around those thumbs. We're going to have the shoulders down and back. We're going to push the knees out, butt is going to go back, and I'm just going to start with the bar below the knees. From here, I'm going to start to extend up, pop my hips, pull the elbows through, stand all the way nice and tall. I'm going to catch in the hips, push the butt back, and go again. At the halfway point, we're going to go into a squat clean. So we're going to work on pulling ourselves under the bar and then standing up with it. If you're at home, what I want you to do is use one dumbbell or kettlebell. You can have it between the feet and then power clean up to the shoulder. We're going to switch to our squat clean. And I just like to use the other arm out to the side to kind of counterbalance. At the halfway point, I want you to switch to the opposite arm. Next, we're going to go into our push press, push jerk, or split jerk. So for this guy, his hands are still going to be outside of the shoulders. I'm going to dip, pushing the knees out. My back's going to stay straight. All right. From here, I'm going to dip, drive. So that would be my push press. I could push jerk, stand all the way up, or I can also split jerk. In the split, I want to have the knee over the ankle. My back heel is up, knee is slightly bent. I'm always going to return front foot, back foot, bar down. So pick one of those versions to start with. At the halfway point, I'll have you pick a different version to do. If you're at home, you're going to use one dumbbell. So you'll clean it up to the shoulder, and then from here we can push press, we can push jerk, or you can go into that split jerk, front leg, back leg, dumbbell down. Okay, halfway point, switch arms. And then lastly, we're just going to put these two things together into our clean and jerk. So again, hook gripping, shoulders back, knees out, butt back. I will clean and then jerk overhead. I could also clean, split jerk. Any of those options are fine. You'll have about 2 minutes, guys, to transition or get ready for either the strength A piece today or the strength B piece. We're going to split you guys up into 2 groups. For the first part, strength A, 13-minute time cap, I want you to front squat. I have 6 sets by 5 reps. If you get another set in or maybe one less set in, that's fine. But that's what we're aiming for. You can stay at the same weight or increase the weight each set. And then we're going to superset this with the ring dips. All right, so 6 sets, and then I put 5 to 7 reps. I'm going to show you a way to spot yourself having a box underneath the rings. After 2-minute transition, we'll switch, and the folks that were doing B will do A, also 13-minute time cap. Here we're gonna find a heavy clean and jerk, okay? In between your sets or your attempts, I want you to do about 30 seconds of double under practice. If you already have double unders, I want you to try and either do weighted double unders with one of the weighted ropes or practice your triple unders. So for the dips, let's go over to the rig and talk about how to scale these. So the setup is with most things, we're going to measure from elbow to middle finger as the distance between the rings. What I can do to spot myself, I've got a box here. I can go into the bottom of my dip, use the box to kind of push off, and then come back down. Okay. Another thing I can do is use the box, but have it kind of off to the side, and use that to come up to the top of the support position, and then just do a negative down to the bottom. Hold here, relax, step back up to my box, jump up top, slowly lower down. Ideally, we want strict before we kip. All right, so if you don't have strict dips, then I want you working on that. If you have strict dips, then I'm fine with you working on some kipping ring dips. Basically use this time however best suits you. You're also going to be front squatting at the rack, so just make sure you set up the J-cups, guys. They're roughly about collarbone height, all right? And then we're just going to go into that nice front rack position and squat for 5 reps at a time with. Like I said, for the other movements, or the other strength piece, we'll have our barbell at our station. We'll do a heavy clean and jerk with a jump rope. Those of you at home, what I want you to do instead is, because you don't have access to a lot of weight, you're going to do a slightly different and more challenging movement called a split squat. Ideally, I'd like the back foot to be elevated, but if you don't have a box or anything, that's totally fine. You can hold the weights in this front rack position at your side, or you can hold in a goblet position. And what I'm going to do is just get set up like I would in a lunge. I'm going to go down, touch the knee, and then stand. I want all the reps on one leg before you switch the other leg. So I want to increase the time under tension before we switch legs. And I'm looking for here 8 to 10 reps. The other thing we can do is add in some tempo. So I'm going to lower down 1, 2, 3. I'm going to hang out here for a few seconds, 1, 2, 3, and then drive off this front leg to standing. After a 60-second rest, I want you to superset this with an overhead tricep extension or a tricep kickback. So if I've got one dumbbell, I can hold horizontally and extend out overhead. I could also hold by the head of the dumbbell and do my tricep extension that way. If you have 2 lighter dumbbells, you can hold one in each hand, go into your hinge, and then perform a tricep kickback. For there, guys, we're also looking for 8 to 10 reps. You'll rest about 60 seconds, and then you'll go back to your split squat. So I'm looking for 4 sets total. So you'll split squat, both legs, rest 60 seconds, tricep work, rest 60 seconds, repeat. Lastly, since you don't have access to heavy weights for clean and jerk, you have a 13-minute AMRAP instead. So what I want is 10 double dumbbell or kettlebell power clean and jerks, and then 30 double unders. If you don't have double unders, or if you don't have 30 of them at a time, you can scale to 15. You can count attempts, or you can substitute penguin claps. You're just going to do as many rounds and reps as possible in the 13 minutes with those double dumbbell kettlebells, power clean and jerks, and then the jump rope piece. All right. So guys, good luck with this. If you have any questions, please let us know. As always, move well. Good luck.